Hello and welcome to another Boroshin's Retrospectives, today covering Marvel superheroes for the Capcom Play System 2 arcade hardware, released in 1995. And now this is a fantastic game. This came out after Capcom's success with X-Men Children of the Atom, and essentially like they just decided, well, this time we'll expand it to not just the X-Men. Obviously, as you may notice, there are, I guess four, you'd say four X-Men related characters, because there's Juggernaut in there, Juggernaut, Magneto, Wolverine and Psylocke. So I'd say there's 4 of the 12 characters in the game are X-Men related, so you can still see the sort of 90s influence in the sense that the X-Men characters are very prominent in the game. Anyway, this game is a 6-button fighter, standard sort of Street Fighter layout for the controls, but the actual game lays the groundwork for future Marvel vs. Capcom titles. This is really when you start to see what you would consider like normal Marvel vs. Capcom gameplay. It plays a tad slower than obviously the later iterations do. So like characters like Magneto aren't quite as fast as they are. However, if you activate one of the gems in the game, you become much more, I guess, much more like the speed you might be used to, albeit actually maybe a tad faster. So anyway, I'll get into the gem system. The gem system, or Infinity Stones, Infinity Gems. I thought this is the reason why I'm covering the game, mainly because of obviously Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite is coming out in September, so I thought I'd cover the game that also features the Infinity Stones / gems. And in this game you can pick up, both characters start with a gem, but you can also pick up gems like fall to the ground and you can pick them up, and each of the 6 gems do a different thing. And it's really fun actually, and it actually has caused this game, if you actually consider Marvel games, this is the most balanced Marvel game. Every character is viable, mainly because the gems actually sort of make it to the point where like characters like big characters like Juggernaut or Hulk or someone like along those lines, they can't really be kept away all the time because of the gems. The gems sort of help them equalize it, especially if they pick up a time gem or a space gem, which gives them super armor. So I'll explain what all the gems do. Also, characters have a specific gem where they get like an extra thing. So it's like their gem, like they get more from it. So for instance, Juggernaut's gem of choice is space, which gives usually just gives super armor, but to him it gives him hyper armor, so he gets even more armor off of it. But each character has a different gem of choice. Some are power, some are thing. Anyway, the different gems, what they do. Well, power, as it would imply, and I presume Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, power boosts your damage, basically. That's pretty much what it does. Time makes you speed up, so you start going way faster than you usually would. Reality causes your different attacks. So light attack, you shoot like a small red fireball. A medium causes icicles to fall from the sort of sky, and then a heavy attack causes several sort of blue electrical fireballs to go off. So it basically just adds projectiles to your attacks, which is kind of cool. What other gems have I? Oh, Soul. Soul causes you to regain life, which is very useful. Actually, your health just goes up, which is very useful. What haven't I said? I've said soul, time, power, space, reality. Other one. I've completely forgotten the other gem. What's the other one? I don't know. Sorry about that. If I remember it in the video, I will get back to it. But yeah, the gem system adds a extra nuance to the game, and I quite like it. But yeah, the game is fun. It lays the groundwork, as I said, for the coming Marvel vs. Capcom games, where things like OTGs, even though OTGs were in what is it? They were in X-Men: Children of the Atom. This game does it more in like a standard way, it's more obvious. So like with future games like Marvel vs. Capcom 1, you can pick up characters with like a crouching light kick. This is very similar. You can pick people off the ground with similar attacks. As you may have noticed, damage is also quite high, although due to sometimes, because obviously I'm not actually very good, if you haven't noticed, it does sometimes take some time to win a match. But if you knew the combos, there are several infinites in the game, and there's some really high damage stuff that you can do, like Blackheart, for instance. They removed this, he can't do this in Marvel 2 off of the standard pillar, but the pillar he summons, just the special, off of that, you can just straight do his pillar super, the quarter circle forward 2 kicks. You can do the super and that actually combos. But yeah, so damage is quite high. And the roster is interesting. It features some of the it created a lot of the sprites that would eventually be reused in most of the Marvel vs. Capcom games. The first time the Captain America sprite shows up, the Iron Man sprite, a lot of these, Blackheart, obviously, Shimmergrath. Doctor Doom sprite is in this. Doctor Doom is the sub-boss of the game, and then the main boss, as would make some sense, is Thanos, because obviously he has the Infinity Gauntlet, and he uses all the different gems, and when you're fighting him, he can like activate all of the gems for him. Instead of being like a power-up, they are like a super, and this carried over into Marvel 2. All of his supers are the different gems, because they just reuse everything in Marvel 2, as the game has 56 characters. But yeah, the game's roster I like. I think it's a really good mix of characters. There's a character for everyone in that game. Yeah, if he has all the things that you would recognize, and I think it's a really good. I think the gems added quite a lot of a nice gameplay mix, and I wouldn't mind them revisiting it. I mean, the way they're doing it in Marvel Infinite appears to be more akin to Capcom vs. SNK 2 grooves, which I'm fine with as well, because I like the groove system. I just hope that it might be a bit more interesting than the V system in Street Fighter 5, which is very interesting. But yeah, the other gem, Mind, I actually have completely forgotten what it does. It's probably quite good, but I've actually forgotten. And I do apologise for that, because that is poor planning on my part. Let me look. Let me look at it. Where are we? I don't know. I'm trying to think. It's because when I was recording this footage, you may notice that gem just didn't appear. I'm trying to think, because I played this game quite a lot. I played it mainly as it was ported to the PS3 and Xbox Live Arcade store, along with Marvel vs. Capcom 1 in a bundle. Marvel vs. Capcom Origins. I'm trying to remember what does it do? What does mine do? I think it's quite good. All of the gems are good. There's nothing bad about them. I'm just trying to think what it does. There's not an obvious one, is it? Mind could do many things. I mean, they haven't revealed what Mind does in Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite at the time of recording this video. Well, I do apologise about that. I have forgotten what that does. But yeah, anything else in terms of music and presentation? I think this game knocks it out of the park. I really like the sort of the actual UI. I think the UI is nicely stylized, looks interesting. It's very eye-catching. I love like how at the start of the round 1 is like a scrolling piece of text, and it's really large. I love the character select with the TVs and how the characters jump out of the TVs, characters coming to life. Everything is very referential of these characters being superheroes. They are superheroes and supervillains. They are bigger than life. They're bigger than the TV. Can't be like. I like that. I think it's just spot on. The music's good. A lot of the themes that you would later remix come from this game. So, for instance, Doctor Doom's theme in this game is the one that's remixed in Marvel 3. That's an example. But yeah, you have all the themes I find are really good. There's not really a bad piece of music in there. The only one that hasn't been remixed that you would have thought had been remixed is Iron Man's. But Iron Man's theme in Marvel 3 is War Machine's theme from Marvel vs. Capcom 1, which always annoyed me, because I always felt that it was War Machine's theme. However, apparently that theme was made for Iron Man, but then they realised that they couldn't have Iron Man, because I believe Acclaim had the rights to Iron Man for video games at the time, because they made a PS1 Iron Man game. And therefore, Capcom were like, shit, what can we do? And then they were like, wait, there's War Machine. So they just recolored the sprite, and then it's War Machine. So yeah, that's why. But that theme had already been made, apparently, at that time. So, development, I guess. But yeah, as you can see, there's flying. This stage is actually quite interesting, Shimmergrath stage, because it's actually an infinite stage. Like, there are walls, but they can be broken by most attacks. Like, if you send the character flying, the walls will break. So it's actually like an infinite stage. It will infinite scroll to the right, so there's no corner to this. If you break through the walls, that is. But it's kind of interesting. An interesting take. Especially in a Marvel game where corners are quite useful. There are several corner-only combos. That was a close match. I'm not very good with Iron Man. I've always wanted to be good with Iron Man, but I'm quite shit with Iron Man. Anyway, I thought I'd throw in a last match using Wolverine, who I'm also, in this game, completely shit with. But yeah, the game's just good though. It's really fun. Really enjoyable to play. Not as enjoyable to play with it as X-Men vs Street Fighter, but that's just me. But yeah, I think it's a good... I've never really understood this stage though with Captain America. I know it's got the Statue of Liberty in the background sinking into what appears to be either water that's coloured purple or, I don't know, slime? I don't know, something. I didn't think it was... this is probably the weakest stage in the game, I'd say, in terms of how it looks. The best stage in the game, actually, I didn't get in this recording, which is Wolverine stage. You're on a raft in the water, and it's going down like a river, and at the end of the stage, when you get a KO, you fall down a waterfall, and the winning character jumps off of the raft and lands... Oh no, you're not on a raft, you're on a bridge that breaks. I forget this. The bridge breaks and falls into the river, and then it goes along, and then at the end of once you get the KO, it falls off of the waterfall, and the winning character jumps onto the... there's like a rock there, and they do their win pose, and it's sick. Really good. Once again, attention to detail, effort put into this game. It's really nice. I don't actually know who any of these X-Men characters are, they're just functions. Anyway, sorry for the wait for a new Boroshin's retrospective. If you have been waiting, I did go on holiday, and I probably would have done one day if I hadn't been on holiday. But I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time for another fighting game of choice.